I happen to really love indie games, and the Nintendo Switch is no stranger to them. I was lucky enough to receive a review code for a game called Mangavania that came out just a few days ago, and I'd love to talk about it. Now, full disclosure, I did receive a code for this game for the purpose of reviewing it, but the developer and the publisher have not seen this video, and they have no say in how I feel about this game. In Mangavania, you play as Yuhiko. A character goes down to the underworld to find a cure to save his brother. And that's basically the whole story. You don't really get to know what, who his brother is, who Yuhiko is, what is ailing his brother. Is it like an illness? Is he poisoned? We don't know. We just know that Yuhiko's going down to the underworld to find that cure to save his brother. And like I was just saying, the story isn't super complicated, but I mean, there really doesn't need to be. The gameplay itself is actually pretty good. There's 20 levels in total. At level 10, there's kind of like a mid-boss, and level 20 is the final boss. And now every level has basically the same goal. There's a certain amount of these lost souls that are floating around that you have to attack to release them. And it kind of goes up the amount of souls you have to release each level, like, as you go along throughout the game. And when you release the last soul in each level, the gate to the next level opens up. You can go through the gate and go right to the next level. And when you complete each level, it gives you a score based on how quickly you complete the level. And the score you get gives you a certain amount of these gems that you collect. In each level, there's also a hidden spirit somewhere usually behind a gate or behind a hidden area that you can find, and that gives you some more gems as well. And at first, the gems don't really seem to do much. I know that when I first started playing it, it seemed like the gems really only helped you if you died. So you have start off with 3 hearts. When you get hit, you lose a heart. If you lose all 3 hearts, you die and you have to restart the level, or you can use gems to restart at the last checkpoint, which is nice. But then you realize that the gems can actually be used to upgrade your abilities. And the abilities you can choose from are like a double jump, a dash. I think you can use, one's a bow attack that you can use. You can hit enemies from further away. And another one is you can upgrade your hearts. You can upgrade your hearts twice. So you can get up to 5 hearts to play through each level. So as you gain these abilities and gain extra hearts, you can go back and play the other levels and beat them quicker to get more gems to buy more abilities. In later levels, you actually need some of the abilities that you can upgrade. So there's levels where you have to use the bow to shoot a target that's farther away that opens a door or a series of targets. And some levels have platforming where you need the double jump or you need the dash to even just be able to get through the level itself. And it will tell you at the very beginning of the level, you need the dash or you need the double jump. So if you don't have it already, you can go back to the main menu and buy that upgrade. The art style in this game is just really neat. It's like this really stark black background with all the details being white and some red highlights here and there, and it's got this really cool 8-bit aesthetic. I think it's great. I love it. If I were to give this game just a few critiques, I'd say the story is a bit lacking. Now, I mentioned the story in the beginning of this video, and really it's just you go to the underworld to find a cure for your brother, and that's the whole story. So there's those hidden spirits in each level. They kind of unveil more of the story. They talk about the bosses a little bit, but they really don't give a lot of details, and you're kind of left in the dark. I mean, no pun intended, the game is basically black and white, but it's just, there's not a lot pushing you along or really explaining to you what exactly is going on. And also the bosses are a little bit weird. I mean, the mid-boss, it's just this enemy with a big sword, and I found out that after I died a few times that once you get the bow, you can stand on the platform that you start on and just shoot the bow down, and you get like a rhythm going and you can hit him every single time. And it does take a while, so you don't get a great score. I think I got like a C or something, so it wasn't good. But I mean, the boss fight itself didn't really make a lot of sense. I didn't understand the patterns. But the last boss, I mean, after a while you do get a good hang of the pattern, but at the same time, we don't know who this boss is. We don't know why you're fighting him. And at the end, it just basically says you've won, you beat the game. And it doesn't really explain, like, does this guy have this cure? Is this where you get the cure? Do you have the cure? Do you just get to the bottom of the world and not have a cure and now the game's just over? Like, it really doesn't explain a lot, and I feel like it is a bit lacking. At the end of every review, I like to ask the question, is this game worth it? Is Mangavania worth it? That depends. It is only $5 on the eShop, and I believe it's on Steam for the same price as well. For $5, you get a great art style. The art style and the music is reminiscent of the 8-bit like old Game Boy era, which is a lot of fun. And if you're dead set on getting the S rank in every single level, I mean, you're gonna get quite a few hours of entertainment with this. If you're playing through every level and trying to get the best rank possible. If you really love platformers, I think you really like this game. For $5, I think it's a great deal. And it's not a full-on AAA title where you're gonna get hundreds of hours of gameplay out of this, but I think for $5 for the amount of time that you will get out of it, you'll have a lot of fun. So I do recommend it. I'm hoping to try out as many indie games as possible this year, so if you're interested in seeing more indie game reviews, go ahead and click here to subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.